The Forgotten Childhood Game. The Incredible Machine. Zoombinis. To be fair, it was an educational math game, so more niche BC of that. Elf bowling on old PCs, get enough strikes and they mooned you. The Island of Dr. Brain. Pharaoh Cleopatra. Sim Tower. Such a great game. Bookworm. I love word games, and Bookworm was one of the best. There was a Frogger on Windows from the late 90s that I loved, but I have never come across anyone else who played it. Gauntlet Legends was a staple of my childhood. I was super into the Nancy Drew games. Blackmore Manor I was never able to fully finish. Surprised I haven't seen King's Quest mentioned in here. I loved those games. Interstate 76. PC, mid-90s. Edit, fixed it. Freddy Fish. Reader Rabbit. Everyone seems to remember Ski Free, but I never see anyone mention Chip's Challenge. Turok, Dinosaur Hunter. I was hard in the paint for the Monkey Island series. To this day, only a few of my pals have ever played it. I firmly believe they missed out by not doing so, it shaped me so much as a kiddo. That, and I also played a lot of Mavis Beacon Teaches Typing. Mercenaries on original Xbox. Kid Chameleon, 100 or so levels, and no save feature meant you had to start over every time. Though it was on Sega, and most people I grew up around had NES or Super Nintendo. Earthworm Jim. Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey. Lode Runner. Played that way too much on an Apple IIC. Also, Castle Wolfenstein. Finding small stuff one doesn't need and throwing it off my friend's balcony. Rock and Roll Racing. River City Ransom. Uncharted Waters. Snood came out in 1996. It was so much fun for me and my girlfriend, one of the only PC games she liked. Putt Putt Travels Through Time. Goosebumps Horrorland. Creatures on the Sea 64. Adventure Island for NES. Just thinking about it makes my hands sweaty. The Learning Company was on an absolute rampage on PC in the 90s. The first one that comes to my mind is Gizmo's Gadgets, but the list of software here is a real oops-all-banger situation. https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki_the_learning_company. Heretic. It was a medieval Doom. I loved it so much, even though it gave me nightmares. It was not a scary game, I was just a sensitive kid. Winter Olympics on the Commodore 64. Dungeon Keeper on PC. Needs a remake or a modern reboot. Little Nemo, The Dream Master. The Incredible Machine. Found an online version recently and spent a couple hours living in my past. Hey Race, a real list, all from 90s PC gamer demo discs. Descent. Doom, but, like, 360 man. Terminal Velocity. Arcade Flight Sim. Abuse, a game that skirted the edge of copyright violation with the Predator-looking main character and Xenomorph-looking enemies and the coolest sound effects in any DOS game ever. WCWNWA Revenge on N64. Star Control 1 and 2. We had this game, Castle of the Winds. It seemed to be inspired by D&D because there was a monster named Gelatinous Blob. ETA, I only found out that this monster was from D&D through the movie. I played DDO, Neverwinter the MMO and BG3, and I don't remember seeing the monster in those games. I don't know if it's forgotten, but I've never seen it being mentioned even in Nostalgia Classic Vintage Games discussions. P.S. Upon searching Google, the AI segment says, it was a popular shareware title that became a nostalgic favorite for many PC gamers. So I guess I have just been running in the wrong circles, lol. I was obsessed with the Police Quest trilogy from 1987 to 1991. Yar's Revenge on the original Atari 2600. Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. I would cry as a child at AT-AT walkers killing me and not know how to beat the first level. I played it over and over until my parents asked a family friend's son to finish the level so I could move on. I know it has a following online and eventually a free remake, but no one I know IRL knows anything about or even remembers Chex Quest. A free Doom clone in a box of cereal that I dumped countless hours into as a kid. Worms. It was so fun to destroy other people's army of worms, haha. I had an Alice in Wonderland RPG game for the Apple II. Spent hours playing it. The game was so involved at a certain point you had to flip the disc over to play the second half of it. Zaxxon. Yes, I am a million years old. Math Munchers. Word Munchers. That cool underwater diving game that taught you how to use a mouse. D'Arquandries Island. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Descent on PC back in the mid-90s. That game was so much damn fun. Mischief Makers. It had a single game back in 1997 and nothing since then. Beautiful Joe. More likely for someone else to remember. They had 4 games, not counting remakes, cameos in a couple of other Capcom games, and a 2-season anime, but no games since 2005. Maybe Secret of Evermore. I believe it was the only game developed by Squaresoft USA. I remember liking it, because it had some of the gameplay elements from Secret of Mana, but everything else felt more American. I'm not sure if I've ever met someone in real life that also played the game, aside from my friends in junior high school who borrowed the game from me. Marble Madness on the Tandy in the 80s. The Return to Zork. Mist and Riven. The Seventh Guest and the 11th Hour. Further back on NES, Bubble Bobble. Jade Cocoon. Chaos Legion. Ogre Battle.